What's up, guys? Welcome to Superwise. I'm John, and I just finished watching No Time to Die, Daniel Craig's final outing as James Bond 007. Now, before I get into the spoiler review, let me quickly talk about Daniel Craig's previous Bond movies and just James Bond in general. So, I do like the James Bond movies. I don't love all of them because a lot of them are kind of silly and disposable, but the Daniel Craig ones in particular are the ones that definitely stand out. And I do have fun with, say, the Pierce Brosnan films. Those are very silly, very, campy, but they're still a lot of fun. But the Daniel Craig ones are just peak Bond. But James Bond, regardless, has this incredible cinematic history and legacy. I mean, he's iconic. Anyway, when it comes to Daniel Craig's Bond movies, Casino Royale is really great. I mean, it's just so smartly written, so much fun. Great Bond origin story. Quantum of Solace is not good. The action scenes are filmed so horribly, and the movie is just really bland and just boring. And I get it. It was made during the writer's strike, and that's why it came out like that, so I get it. Then we get to Skyfall. Again, really great film. And we get to Spectre. I remember liking it, not loving it though. It's definitely weak. But now we're into No Time to Die, Daniel Craig's final appearance, final outing as James Bond. And what did I think of this film? I'm speechless. I loved this film. I think that this is my favorite James Bond film yet, and I think you can argue that it is the best James Bond film yet, better than even Casino Royale. I love Casino Royale, but after seeing this movie, I really do think it's my favorite. It's just that amazing. So first, let's talk about the directing of Cary Fukunaga. Wow, this guy is super talented. There are so many beautiful shots throughout this film. There's this amazing one-take, one-shot during an action scene. Breathtaking. Cary Fukunaga really knows how to film these action scenes, and just overall, it is filmed so incredibly well. Then the action is so engaging. It kept me on the edge of my seat. The opening car chase, everything with the motorcycle, the forest scene, I mean, all of it. So great. The music, the score by the one and only Hans Zimmer is pretty great too. I love the opening with the gun barrel scene, the classic James Bond theme. When it comes to the Billie Eilish song, I'm not a fan of hers at all, but within the context of the film, I think the song works well. The cinematics to that opening credit, that was pretty cool. And it's nowhere near like Adele's Skyfall. I think that's the best Daniel Craig James Bond song, and probably up there as one of the best, but it's decent. And the story was just so good, so engaging. Very nice send-off for Daniel Craig. What I love about his James Bond movies that none of the other Bond movies have is continuity. His origin story starts in Casino Royale, and he grows and evolves as a character, and that's what I love about him, because the other Bonds, they have a film and then they go to the next film and no continuity is shared. Nothing really changes them. With Bond, it's an ever evolving story, and it concludes here, and it was just great payoff and great storytelling. So now let's talk about James Bond himself, Daniel Craig. He's great in this movie. He gives a great performance. What a way to go. His relationship with Madeline Swan felt real, it felt heartfelt. And then what I love specifically about this movie is that he has a child, and so now he's this sort of father figure protecting his wife and his child, and it's a side of Bond we haven't really seen before. He's more than just the womanizer. He's a human being, and he's really fleshed out here. And then, man, I guess let's talk about that ending when he dies. I was left speechless. I didn't expect it. He just sacrificed himself. It was sad and it was tragic because, Safin infected him and he couldn't, be with his wife and child. As a result, he couldn't kiss his wife. He couldn't touch his daughter. It was truly sad and tragic, but it was just kind of a beautiful send-off. I mean, my jaw was to the floor. I just couldn't believe it. He was the first Bond to ever die. But it was kind of a beautiful but tragic send-off. So many mixed emotions, but wow, just jaw-dropping. Then we have Lea Seydoux as Madeline Swan. She was great in the film Paloma. Ana de Armas, she was stunning, she was beautiful, and she was badass. I would love to see her return in future Bond films, but she stole the show. She was just a great presence. Jeffrey Wright as Felix, he was awesome to have return, and then when he died, man, it hit, you know, because he's been around since Casino Royale, and you feel that friendship, and when he died, it really hit. It was sad. Nomi, played by Lashana Lynch. Overall, I didn't mind her. She is not the black female James Bond. She just takes on the title of 007. You know, James Bond should never be a woman. Daniel Craig even said that himself, so don't worry, she's not, you know, James Bond. She just has the title. You know, in the beginning she was annoying, trying to one-up Daniel Craig, but then, you know, later in the film she starts gaining respect, and she even hands back the title of 007 back to Daniel Craig, which I thought was a nice touch, and, you know, overall, didn't mind the character. Then we have Rami Malek as Safin. What a great menacing villain. I mean, he was just evil, and he had this little smirk at the final battle when he infected Daniel Craig. He was just, you know, Rami Malek, he was great as Freddie Mercury. He won the Oscar for that, and he was great as the villain here. And finally, Blofeld, played by Christoph Waltz. He was great in the role in Spectre, and he does a great job here. I mean, it's Christoph Waltz. He never hands in a bad performance. He's just great as that villain. And just overall, I loved this movie. Like I said, it's probably my favorite James Bond movie yet. It was just that amazing, that fantastic, that excellent. It was just an excellent send-off for Daniel Craig. And after this movie, after his beautiful and tragic send-off, I mean, it's hard to say goodbye, because he was so great in the role. He is the best James Bond yet, and I don't know how you top him. I really don't. You know, this is his final film. We're getting a new James Bond. We're getting a reboot, new actor, and that's what I love about the James Bond films, that every couple, you know, few years we get a new actor to portray the role. I think that's really cool, letting other people interpret the role, but it's just like, yes, I would love Idris Elba. I would love Tom Hardy. They're going to go with a newcomer, and I'm ready for that newcomer. I would love to see a new actor take on the role, but it's just like, it is so incredibly hard to top Daniel Craig. I just don't know how you can. It's like, you can't top Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. You can't top Christopher Reeve as Superman. You can't top Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I don't know. I really don't know, because this is just peak Bond. This was amazing. So we'll see, but I'm looking forward to the new Bond. But man, this is a tough-ass act to follow. But yeah, thank you, Daniel Craig. You were an amazing Bond, and now he's going to do other things, which is great. He's doing Knives Out 2 and 3, which is awesome. I would love to see him in the MCU as Magneto with, funnily enough, Ralph Fiennes, who's in this movie as M, as Professor X. I think that would be great casting, both. And the supporting cast, Ralph Fiennes, Naomi Harris, Ben Whishaw, they were all very good. But yeah, overall, I loved this film. That ending really hit, and yeah, great, freaking amazing film. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What did you think of No Time to Die, Daniel Craig's final outing as James Bond? Bruh, what'd you think of that ending? Let me know. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. That'll be all for me. And remember my catchphrase, guys. Stay super wise.